Outlast was already a well-beloved horror classic. I like to pretend the second one doesn't exist. So like all beloved horror series, they eventually asked, what if we made it co-op? There are countless examples of this being a bad idea, Dead Space 3. So is the Outlast Trials a betrayal of horror, or the rare co-op game that actually gets it right? The Outlast Trials is not Outlast 3, it is a prequel set in 1959. You play as a test subject who must survive sadistic therapy in order to earn your freedom. The trials are designed to break you mentally and physically, so you can become a perfect sleeper agent. It's very inspired by the MK Ultra experiments. You have to survive getting hit, stabbed, shot and drugged, figure out deadly puzzles whilst being watched at all times by the Murkoff Corporation. It's like Saw, but your boss insists it's character building. I'm not the guy to tell you how it fits into the Outlast franchise. I know this is the same corporation from the other games, but that's about all I know. This game doesn't have a huge focus on story unless you go looking for it. It's all about the gameplay, so how does that play? After a short tutorial where doctors screw night vision goggles to your head, you awaken into the sleep room, the main hub. It's very oppressive, the lights are bright and you are constantly being watched by the guards. And it's a bit too clean. It definitely gives off an uneasy feeling before the trial even starts. The trials are split into different groups. This is a live service game. Each season brings a new map, main enemy and new mechanics. After you pick which map you want, you'll get a bunch of trials to choose from. You have to beat the main trial to unlock the mini trials. The main trial will normally be about 45 minutes long and contain multiple objectives. It will have you explore the whole map and introduce you to the main villain and unique mechanics on that map. The mini trials are a lot shorter normally, about 10 minutes with one objective. I really like how this is set up. The main trials are the closest this game gets to feeling like the other Outlast games. They do a good job introducing what you have to do in each of the maps, so the mini trials can really test you on it whilst throwing in some twists to keep you on your toes. The gameplay is exactly like Outlast in these trials. You don't have any weapons, so stealth is a must. Floors are often covered in glass which is allowed to walk on. You can use items you find in areas to help you out. You can use balls and bricks to distract enemies or even stun them for a second. You have a very limited inventory, so you'll need to decide what's important for you to carry. Your greatest weapon is crouching and praying nobody notices you. It feels like Outlast, but what does this game do differently to make it stand out? After you beat your first trials, you will unlock upgrade points. This can be spent in the sleep room at 3 different vendors. The first vendor unlocks permanent upgrades. This is stuff like being able to use items without having to pick them up, adding inventory slots or making your battery life longer. I would recommend getting all these first, as I can't imagine playing the game without them. The second vendor looks like she has seen some shit. She will let you pick out the 3 bonuses you can use in the trial, one in each category. This will be stuff like start the trial with an item or slowly gain health back over time. The best one I always equipped is the one that disables trapdoors. It's literally a lifesaver. The final vendor sells you rigs. There are 6 in total. You can only have one active at a time. These can be used in trials but have a cooldown timer. From my experience, stun is the way to go. It comes in clutch way too often and is easy to use when panicking. The others seem like they could be useful if you can plan ahead, which I can't. Like why blind them with a mine when you can just stun them, or why heal them when there's medicine around the map. You level up really quickly if you just do okay at the trials, so it's not like you have to save up your upgrade points. I was pretty constantly getting enough upgrade points after a trial to buy everything I needed. I mentioned traps just now. They are littered all over the maps. Each map comes with its own unique traps, but some are in all maps. The main ones are mines which damage you if you step on them. They are loud so you're normally aware of them. There are also electric floors which are really easy to notice and avoid, next to the trap doors. These doors will have a red light next to them to warn you. These lights can be really hard to notice when you're getting chased by some lanky prick with his knob out. If you open one of these doors, you'll get stabbed and knocked to the floor and have to mash a button in order to pull it out. Then lastly, and possibly the most annoying, is the gas. Some toolboxes or first aid stations will have a device in them. Once opened, you have a few seconds before it goes off. The device is easy to spot if you are looking for it. Getting hit with the gas will lower your sanity meter. The meter has 3 stages. The first stage is when you've only lost a little bit. You'll start having an effect on your screen making it hard to see, and you'll see the Skinner Man, who appears out of nowhere and starts to walk towards you, then disappears. The second stage has tentacle appears from the floor, walk near these and you can take damage. The first stage has the Skinner Man actively chasing you down and will damage you if he touches you. He is quick, so this will force you to run, probably into an enemy. If you find an antidote in the level, you can get rid of this immediately. I really love this trap. It's great at first because the game doesn't explain it to you. I was playing with a friend who kept telling me there's an enemy nearby, which obviously wasn't there for me. It can really keep you on your toes and made carrying an antidote a must, at least early on, taking up one of my precious inventory slots. Which brings us to the enemies. Most act like typical Outlast enemies. They walk around talking to themselves as they look for you. Some even use hiding spaces to jump out to you. There are also screamers who will alert everyone if you get too close. The enemies that mess with me the most are the ones that disguise themselves. They'll dress up as your co-op partner or yourself. They even have a gamer tag above their head, but it'll be spelt slightly wrong. They got me so many times. This made me ask, is that actually you to my friend a lot? It really adds to the stress. Then there are the main villains. Each map has a unique one with their own gimmick. There's not much of a difference between these villains gameplay wise, but they do stand out from each other with looks and voice lines. The police station has a cop that uses an electric baton that disables your rig if you get hit. The carnival has Gooseberry, who has a puppet with a power drill in its mouth. Take damage from her and you will start to bleed, and you will have to find a bandage to make it stop. The docks have a mobster who sounds like he would love Gabagoo. He carries a shotgun and his gimmick is he can shoot you. That's it, he can just shoot you. In the latest update, they added a woman who will freeze to look like a statue. Her map is filled with statues, so she will get the jump on you. It's not a matter of if, it's when. They're memorable characters, but once you understand them, they don't change how you play all that much. The maps themselves are distinct from each other and there's a good variety. The areas are very oppressive and filled with lots of creepy imagery. There are lots of dead bodies of failed test subjects and blood on the walls. There are mannequins fucking everywhere, some missing their heads and some in subjective poses. Ever since Condemned Criminal Origins, I get a bit on edge when I see mannequins in games. You will even find windows where you can see Murkoff employees watching you, just to remind you none of this is real and you're just a rat in a maze. Even areas that are meant to be outdoors, you can still see the roof of the building this takes place in. The areas have 50s Americana look, which paired with the blood everywhere gives the game an extra uneasy vibe. I haven't actually talked about your objectives in the trials. This is because there are so many different ones for each trial. It always consists of you having to find something in an area whilst avoiding enemies. But there is a lot of variety to it. In some levels you might have to follow wires in order to cut power to something. They tend to get more creative and disturbing as the game goes on. Like one level you'll have to hide drugs inside live bodies, or another one will have you ripping limbs one by one off someone. The game does a pretty good job teaching you the objectives. It will make you perform the task once with everyone in the room before it opens up the whole area. This is great as you will have an idea of what you are doing before you get lost in the levels. Each trial ends with you having to make it to the exit. You have to hit a button in order for the shuttle to arrive. This will start a timer. You only have so long before the shuttle leaves without you. It can be incredibly stressful if you're not near the exit. What's neat about it is each trial has its own story. One will be about trying to stop people having sex. You have to do this by explaining STDs to them. The way you do this in game is by carrying acid and pouring it into a guy who's locked in a tub. You completely cover him in acid and the mannequin will be like, look what STDs can do to you. It's very messed up but also darkly comedic. The objectives are designed to be completed by multiple people. Like in one level you'll have to use a tracker to find a witness, then use a detonator to blow up their head. The game won't spawn enough for all players, so the idea is one person has the tracker and one person has the detonator. The areas are quite large in the main trial, so splitting up to cover more ground makes a lot of sense. The game is at its best when you are playing with someone you can talk to. There are ways to communicate in game like pinging or using gestures. One time I couldn't complete a trial because I couldn't communicate with a rando. He was holding the key and refused to progress the mission. Why do arseholes like this enjoy wasting people's time? Playing co-op is fun and I enjoy doing it. But like all these horror co-op games, it does make the game way less scary. Thankfully this doesn't ruin the game for me. Playing with friends can also be chaotic. Someone always runs ahead, needs help or ruins your plan. The amount of times I would be sneaking around and my friend would bring enemies to me by accident was staggering. I'm very happy to say you can play the game in solo and the objectives seem to change because of that. In levels where you have to find 4 things in co-op, this will change to 2 in solo, which is great because I'm normally a solo player because I have no friends. There are also escalating trials. This is where you're stripped of your upgrades and you have to pick one at the start. You have to beat as many trials in a row as you can, with different modifiers being added each trial. It's a good inclusion, but if you get shit modifiers you can get screwed early on. After you beat enough trials you have your chance at freedom. This can be done alone or in co-op. In solo you have to navigate the mansion from the tutorial. Co-op will be a randomly selected trial. This freedom challenge is very hard, it will take everything you've learned from the game to beat. Multiple main villains can appear at one time, tons of traps, tons of enemies, and not a lot of items in areas. It's a true test of what you've learned. If you manage to beat it, you are free. You get a cutscene of your character doing something but clearly has been brainwashed. So far I've done this 4 times and this cutscene's been different each time. Then you'll wake up as a new test subject. You keep your level upgrades and everything you've unlocked and get a lot of XP as a bonus. This is a live service game, so you unlock stuff in a battle pass. The battle passes don't disappear after the season is over. You can go back and complete the ones you have missed, which is great. The issue is you have to pay for them. If you complete the pass you'll have enough currency to buy another one, which is good, but it means you can't buy the seasonal passes as these don't have currency. You complete passes by just playing the game. The passes will have items you can decorate your room with in the sleep room. There's also profile pictures, menu poses for your characters, and clothing. The most expensive items on the passes are the outfits. I like most of the outfits in the game. They're all weird and disturbing looking. They fit the vibe of the game well. The passes feel fair for the most part, but might be a bit too expensive considering you've already had to pay for the game. Ultimately I had fun playing Outlast Trials. It can be stressful and panic inducing, but more often than not it's not scary. This is a great multiplayer horror game with a great atmosphere, but it can get repetitive after a while as you are doing trial after trial, and it can feel unfair on higher difficulties. As a horror experience it's flawed, but as a multiplayer panic simulator, it works. Time to rank it. I'm feeling number 31. I had more fun running around and hiding than I did shooting in Stranger's Wrath. I also enjoyed the atmosphere more, but I can't put it above Stay Out the House, as that was just a better horror experience overall. New number 31. Speaking of trial, I need to cancel my subscription. Ah shit, it just renewed.